Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and welcome if you're brand new. I'm really happy that you decided to join me here today for, yes, you guessed it, another speed build. And yeah, it's a kind of a random one, this one, because I just kind of wanted to build something with a lot of landscaping as always, because apparently, I hate myself and I like to suffer, given that landscaping is not my favorite thing in the world. But I wanted to build something in Sulani with all these dark rocks that can be found in the debug menu. And yeah, so I figured, why not building a house on a cliff? It took me actually a bit to figure out, with all these rocks and all these pieces of flooring that are actually floating, because technically they are the second floor. And I kind of struggled a bit with this build, but eventually, I made it. And also I had a lot of glitches with this lot, because at first everything was working fine. I was able to access this lot without problems, and then all of a sudden I couldn't access it anymore. So yeah, because usually I build in live mode, so I'm able to playtest everything as I build. And this time, practically at the end of the build, I wasn't able to do that anymore. Yeah, but everything I playtested works except for the stairs. I don't know why. I tried everything I could. I also put another set of stairs at the back of the house. You're going to see that later. But I couldn't make them work, and I'm really sorry about it. But I also thought this house is super high, like in the sky, so maybe it's not so ideal for gameplay to use the stairs, and so I figured it was fine. And actually your sim can use the teletransportation. You can teleport your sim up there without problems. It's really simple. You just have to shift click on your sim, and obviously testing cheats must be true. So you just shift click on your sim, and teleport option will pop up. So yeah, you can teleport the sim up there without problems, and everything works in the house. But yeah, I talked through practically all the making of the shell of the house, and here I'm just creating an open door, because if you are in Sulani and you see that later, or maybe you saw that in the cinematic intro I did of the house, from up there is a magnificent, yeah, fine. There is a magnificent, yeah, I cannot tell that word. So there is a stunning view of the sunset, and so yeah, I wanted to have an open door, because if I lived here, actually, I would love to see the sunset every day from up there. It just would be amazing. I wish I could live in Sulani. It's, I guess, one of my favorite words. Not my favorite, because I guess my favorite has to be Windenburg. I love Windenburg so much, and yeah, I talked about this in another video already. I guess I'm kind of repetitive, but now, as you can see, I'm creating a rounded pool. I didn't want it to have these, sharp edges, and I cut the process because it was long and boring, all the placing with the alkey of the Stunic Goodness Lab from Spade. And so yeah, I just created the rounded shape, and now I'm just figuring out the wall paints I wanted to use for this house. I wanted it to be kind of obviously modern, because that's the shape I was going for, but wanted it to be with dark colors, dark brown, black, and just a few whites. I guess only the kitchen has some whites inside, if I remember correctly. And now, as you can see, I'm figuring out the floor plan, and it was kind of hard because it's a weird shape. And you will see that I'm going to expand the kitchen area I'm going to remove some of these rocks because I didn't like the shape of it. And so yeah, there it is, it's already bigger, and this is going to be the kitchen actually. And yeah, as always, I've used the tool mode to create some fun shapes, some new objects, and I tried to use as less specs as I could, but I didn't want to, restrict myself with this build, and so yeah, I kind of used whatever I wanted to. But also in this video I've used the tool mode, and I guess I've already said it, and you're going to see that later. Nothing special really, I've just created some objects that aren't in game as always, some shelving units and so on. But here I'm working on the living room because I wanted to make sure that everything fit, because yeah, it's not kind of a big living room, actually it's not a big house, but as you can see I'm creating a custom fireplace by using an outdoor retreat fire pit, I guess it's called, and some debug objects to hide the fountain. The fountain is base game, and yeah, I'm just using multiple objects to create this fun fireplace. It's a rounded one and it's pre-tested, so it works because obviously I pre-tested it before my game started acting like an idiot. So yeah, it works. Your sim is able to turn it on, and now I'm kind of creating a console table situation with some kitchen counters, or better I should say kitchen cabinets. Yeah, and I really like how this living room turns out. Unfortunately, later on my recording software started glitching a bit, and so part of the making of the living room, for example the part in which I make the aquarium, which is a custom aquarium again, but you're going to see that anyway in the screenshots, but unfortunately I couldn't include it because it was really too laggy and I didn't want to have it in my video. And now I'm kind of creating two sets of windows, if I can call them this way, and they are going to contain some plants, and so it's really nice to see them from inside the house. I know it's not so realistic because there is no way for your Sims to access that area, but I kind of figured maybe they are like windows, doors, I don't know how they're called. They can be open anyway. And I'm kind of working on the landscaping. Obviously we are in Sulani, and so I wanted it to be, tropical and with a summery vibe, with a tropical vibe, and I've used obviously practically only island living and a bit of base game, and also jungle adventure, because as I said in other videos, I feel like jungle adventure and island living, they get along so well, let's say. They are really perfect for each other. It seems like they are made to be paired together. But yeah, I'm just adding more rocks and more greenery around, and then later on I'm going to add also the island living waterfall item, which can be found in the debug menu, and it's one of my favorite items. I love it really a lot, and I use it almost in every build, and maybe I'm kind of exaggerating with it, but here it is anyway. But yeah, I guess it's my favorite item ever. It's so versatile, it can be used in every world. It's not like it's restricted to Sulani, and so yeah, I love to use it, but unfortunately it's kind of hard to use it on water a lot, on a beach lot. So I had to use all these rocks to make it seem like water was actually sitting on something, because it was kind of floating, and as you know, we cannot build basements in beachy lots, and so yeah, I had to come up with this idea to use it, otherwise it would have floated in the air, and yeah, I didn't like it at all. And then to make it more realistic, I've used some fountains to, you know, create to make it look like the water was actually going inside the sea, inside the ocean, inside whatever it is. And now I'm adding another rounded shape, exactly like the one at the top of the house. Because here I realized the stairs didn't work, and I wanted to add another set of stairs, but unfortunately I couldn't make these stairs work as well. And I think it's because of the rocks, because I sized them up and down, and so the Sims aren't able to access them, and I'm really sorry about it, but you know, I really like the look of them here on the side of the cliff, and I kind of make it look like they were like sitting on the hill, on the rocks, sorry. And you're going to see it. I'm going to expand the flooring exactly to give that look like they are part of the rocking wall behind them. And yeah, I'm just adding more rocks. Yeah, and I really like how they look because they're almost invisible. I mean, you cannot clearly see them. And yeah, as you can see, I'm adding more and more rocks to the structure. Yeah, I really like how they look, so I kept them eventually, even though they're not functional, and I'm sorry about that. Or I don't know if it was a glitch of my sim, given that she was kind of problematic with this lot, and it was kind of glitchy for me. If they work for you, please let me know. It would be great if they actually could work, but they didn't for me, so I was fine with teleporting my sim up there. As you can see, I created a custom table there, and now I'm kind of decorating the aquarium area. As you can see, I've used the tool mod to create this shelving unit. It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting shape. I really like it. And as you can see there, I created the aquarium wall, and I also put some fishes inside. I don't know if they'll still be there when you download this slot. I don't know how it works, but here I'm working on the kitchen, which is actually the only white part of the house, and I'm creating this floating microwave situation, and it works. It's pre-tested, or better, it works for me, so you should be fine. It should work, everything should work. And now I'm working on this island situation. I wanted to incorporate a table inside, and as you can see, it's right there, and it works. As always, it's pre-tested also this one, but as always, if you download my builds, please turn on the move objects cheat, because yeah, as you can see, I use that a lot. And if you download this slot and the move objects cheat is not on, some objects may be misplaced, and you don't want that to happen, because then it will definitely be weird. And now I'm kind of working on cluttering up the kitchen. I wanted this house to be, you know, really modern and minimalist. I kind of imagined a family to live here, a family of 3 Sims, and there is, yeah, how would I entitle this at the beginning? I don't know, I'm sorry. This house has room for 3 Sims, a couple of parents, and a kid, a grown-up kid, let's say almost a teen or a teen. You're going to see the room later on. So yeah, I kind of imagined a family to live here, and so I wanted just you know, a decent amount of clutter to make it seem like the house was actually lived by someone. I mean, someone actually was living here. And as you can see there in the corner, I created a green, let's say a green section, and here I'm creating a custom desk. It works, obviously. I'm going to put a laptop there, and I'm going to use an Allen counter. I sized it down, and then I'm going to place a bar stool there, and yeah, it works. I've used these tricks so many times, and I really like how a floating desk looks, and so yeah, I wanted to use it again. And now I'm just placing some plants in the kitchen. As I told you, I wanted this to feel lived in. Now I'm creating a custom sitting area here in the kitchen. There is the little booth from Spa Day. I kind of hide it in the island cabinet, and then I rotated this pillow thing from I think either kids stuff or toddler stuff. I never remember. I was confused those two facts. But yeah, I rotated it to make it look like a cushion, and I really like how it looks, so yeah, I was really proud. And I'm just cluttering up the kitchen. But now we're on to the parents' bedroom, and I'm using a trick I've used in some other builds yet again. I'm using some kitchen cabinets to make a different, let's say, shapes, to give a different shape to the bed. And the bed is actually raised up from the floor, but everything works. It's play-tested. Also, this bed is play-tested, so it works. And then I hanged some, mirrors right up on the wall behind the bed, and now I'm creating kind of light pattern with these body lights. I'm playing with their sizes, so they go from the biggest to the tiniest one. Yeah, and I really like how they look. Now I'm just cluttering out these nightstand table, if I can call them this way. They are actually shelves, sized up shelves, and I really like how they look. I really like that they look really modern, and yeah, I wanted to include them. And now I'm using the tool mode again to create this fun shape with lights. They're actually, I don't remember if they're base game or Spa Day. I think they're Spa Day lights. And I sized them up, and then I created this fun shape. And then I kind of rotated one shelf to, be complementary to the shape. And I'm just cluttering them up as always, because, give me some clutter. I love me some clutter. And yeah, I find so annoying that we cannot place mirrors freely like we can place, paintings. And I wish they could fix that, because it would be so useful to place mirrors at different heights. And I kind of do that by deleting the wall behind the mirror, and then I can place it at whatever height I want. But it's actually annoying, as I would love to be able to do that without needing to delete the wall behind. Yeah, I kind of want this. Please, thank you, let me have it. I don't know if you feel the same. If you're a builder, I'm sure you'll feel the same for sure. But here, as you can see, I'm working on the master bathroom, because yeah, the parents have their own ensuite bathroom. It's really tiny. There are actually 2 bathrooms in this house. This is tiny, and the other one is even tinier, but everything is pre-tested, so everything works. I didn't film the other bathroom because, I didn't feel like it was a fundamental part of this house, and I didn't want this video to be, overly long. But as you can see, I'm cluttering up these shelves. I created this shelving unit by using a debug black pole. It's really handy to use because you can size it down, and so you can create this. It looks like this shelving unit. It's actually hanging on the ceiling, and it's really nice. And now I'm working on the teens room. I envisioned a female to live here. I used quite a few, well, actually I've used kind of a lot of bags, now that I think about it. So I cannot say that I used something precisely. I can see the tiny living bed and the Discover University wall lamp up there, and also the tiny living lamp. But now, as you can see, I'm creating kind of pictures wall. Yeah, I really like how this looks. I figured they might be postcards that a friends sent there. Yeah, and I really like to do that. And I'm placing these books on the bed to make it look like she was studying something. The bed works, obviously, it's pre-tested, so yeah, everything works. Now I'm just cutting up the shelving unit, and this is going to be a studying nook for the girl. There is another studying nook in the living room. I'm sorry you couldn't see that, but as I told you, my recording system kind of went crazy, and so yeah, I couldn't include that part in the video, but you're going to see that in the screenshots anyway. And so there are a total of 3 computers in this house, so they should be more than fine with technology, I'd say. And now I'm just placing some wall arts in the girls' room and the dresser and cluttering it up because, you know, as I told you, some people live here, and so yeah, I figured a bit of clutter never killed anyone, and I really wanted to have it. I'm kind of a clutter addict, so yeah, forgive me about that. Actually, I'm not sorry about that because I love how clutter looks in game. Now I'm creating a sitting space in this corner because actually I had no idea of what to do here, and everything, even if it's a bit cramped up, it works. So yeah, I'm really happy about that because I like the look of that. And now I'm creating a bridge because I wanted something in the front of the house at the bottom because it seemed a bit empty for my taste. And as you can see, I'm using a trick in which I use a piece of flooring so the bridge is actually functional, and then I place these island living debug objects on top of it, so they actually hide the floor, and so yeah, it works. I'm really happy of the look of it, and later on I'm going to place some, you know, poles behind it so that it looks like something is actually, you know, sustaining this structure. And as you can see, it goes up to the front where I created a nice pathway with more debug objects, and here as you can see I'm using these poles to sustain the structure. And now I'm going to switch the stairs because I like them in a lighter color, and I'm placing some debug, you know, greenery because I like them. Let's say. And now I'm using these debug wooden planks to create this curved shape pathway. Yeah, and I love how it looks. It looks amazing from the front, and I was kind of disappointed that the gallery picture actually doesn't show anything. It only shows a lot of rocks, and yeah, I'm sorry about that, but I like how the house looks, and so yeah, I wanted to leave it this way, but we're coming to the screenshots, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like, comment and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you all in my next one. Bye everyone!